New to Project Zomboid? Can't survive your first week, first day, first hour? Well, hopefully not an hour, but then you've come to the right place. These are my Project Zomboid beginner go-to tips and tricks. I mean, if you want to know the very basics, play the tutorial. It's only a couple minutes. A lot of people skip this. No, really, go and do it. It shows all the basics of gameplay. So once you've played it, then the rest of these tips apply. First tip, get used to the combat. If you have no weapon, then pushing over a Z and stomping on its head will do. But really anything will work, from frying pans to guns. Just get used to it. That'll happen over time. Just be aware. Guns are loud and draw infected, so be warned. Tip number 2. Don't go on major roads. There are far too many Zeds. Instead, try going in between houses. Try not to attract unwanted attention. You can use C to crouch and sneak to not get spotted. But if you did, well then. Tip number 3. Got spotted either way? Whatever you do, don't sprint. You can sprint by using alt and jog using shift, but don't do it. When healthy, you can just outwalk Zeds. Sprinting tires your character out, which leaves you with no energy to escape them or fight back. Which leads us to tip number 4, which is tip number 4. Well, you're still getting chased by Zeds? Try and break their line of sight. If you're nearby any houses, this works great. Just go into the house and make sure the horde can't see you. Then, just pop out another door to lose them. Trees also work great, but I wouldn't trust them so much. And that brings us to tip number 5. See those little icons on the top right? Those are Moodles. Listen to them. If you're carrying too much, you lose movement speed. Your attacks are worse. If too high, then you take damage. If you're over-exhausted, you won't be able to fight Zeds. The whole, survival aspect of the game. If you got scratched or hurt by a Zed, get queasy for the next while, well, say goodbye to that character. Tip number 6. Rosewood's probably the best place for it, but now that you've mastered moving through towns, try going to places like the police stations and fire departments. The fire department in Rosewood is really good because it has axes and works well as a base. The police department, you can find nightsticks, body armor, and if you have a sledgehammer, guns. If you have trouble finding these places, you can visit the Project Zomboid map project, link in the description. Tip number 7. If you chose the burglar profession on character creation, or have electrical skill 1 and maintenance 2, you can hotwire cars by passing the need for keys. Make sure they're topped off in gas and in good condition, and you're set. Just make sure you don't make too much noise. Tip number 8. You might think that TVs are only for flavor text, or to reduce boredom, but if you change to life and living, you can get XP fast for certain skills. It airs every 6 hours, with a cooking show at 6 o'clock in the morning. At 12 o'clock, there's woodworking, and at 6 in the evening, there's trapping, fishing, or foraging. And at midnight, well, it's mostly just ads. Tip number 9. To level up skills, read skill books. It's not as necessary as it is in multiplayer, but if you read a skill book, you get a 3 times XP boost to whatever you're doing. It can be really handy to level up skills. And finally, tip number 10. Get ready to die. Don't get too attached to your characters, although I usually still do. But you're literally greeted with "this is how you died" when you start the game. You will die a lot, so get ready for it. You'll eventually get good at the game. Oh, and one final thing. Bonus tip. If you get bored of the game, or want to try something new, well, this game has one of the best modding communities I've seen. Seriously, there's so many mods, so many good mods. They can completely overhaul the game, paired with multiplayer, and I bet this is one of the best games you'll ever play.